Hello, Luke here. I would just like to take a moment to disclose upfront that we sometimes talk about sensitive topics in our podcasts, and in fairness to our audience, we will try our best to put specific warnings in the descriptions of each episode. Now on with the show.
Jesus showed us everything we've got. We go to school where creation gets taught. Our lives are mild, but they'll soon be crazy. You wanna ask my mom to the prom? Your dad, the pastor, won't fuck my mom. Our lives are mild, but they'll soon be crazy. I accidentally got pregnant, praying away the gay. So I hang with Cass and Roland instead of Hillary Faye.
I gotta ask. What was the song?
It was a bastardization of Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss.
Oh, gotcha.
That's why I was like,
Fuck.
That's why I was like, this is
Wow.
either going to like land or not.
I hear it now. That's awesome.
Welcome to the Nostalgia Killers podcast, where we revisit films from our youth to see if they still hold up or should be inserted into the great DVD player in the sky. I am Luke Lone, joined as usual at Chuck Starzensky.
That's right. It's at Chuck Starzensky. That is my Venmo. If you want to send me anything, it is at Chuck-Starzensky. I do take, hey, I know you're not on Patreon. You might be on Venmo. You can get us that way.
And also, once again, Taylor Diffenderfer.
Hello.
And finally on the podcast, Lauren Heney.
Hello. Yay.
My loving wife.
And her husband. And we watched Saved.
Yay.
All right. Who's down with G.O.D.?
I know what you're looking at, Mary. And Jesus does too.
I still don't think he's supposed to be white.
Of course he's white. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
You are backsliding into the flames of hell. You're performing an exorcism? Yes, we are. I am filled with Christ's love.
You didn't tell me Pastor Skip was so nice.
Mom.
What's shaking, Skip?
Secondhand smoke kills.
I'm counting on it.
Jenna Malone, Mandy Moore, Macaulay Culkin, Patrick Fugit, Heather Matarazzo, Eva Amori, Martin Donovan, Mary Louise Parker.
I crashed my van into Jesus.
Saved.
While attending a Christian high school, a teenage girl struggles to keep her unexpected pregnancy a secret.
All right.
Sure.
Short and
Yeah.
sweet.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's watch it.
All right. Speaking of Let's Watch It, I know this was Luke's first time watching it.
Yes, this was my initiation for this. I'd seen this movie poster on Netflix everywhere because it's got like a lot of my favorite actors, like Jenna Malone, Macaulay Culkin. Mm-hmm. I have no idea why I never saw it, but I didn't.
What'd you think?
Oh, it's funny as hell. Yeah, yeah, I loved it. I'm regretting not having seen it, 20 years ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I saw it probably when I was around 13, 14 in that age range, and just watched it with my best friend at the time. And I don't know, it's very much in the genre of movies that I was into watching at that time, which was coming of age.
Sure.
Still is, honestly. So yeah, this movie slaps, holds up.
Right on.
Loved it.
Yeah. I also watched it when I was like 13, 14. And I remember I was homesick from school, and my dad I had like one of those small TVs with the VCR built in. And my dad came home and had 2 VHS tapes that he bought for me. So I would have something to do while I was sick.
Aww.
And one of those tapes was Matchstick Men with Nick Cage.
Oh.
Yeah. And the other was Saved.
Both bangers, honestly.
Both bangers, yeah, super random. I think he just saw teenagers on the cover and was like, this will do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've seen it so many times since then. It's really like solidified itself as like a perfect comfort film. Like whenever I'm sad or sick or just need to feel something, I watch this movie.
That's why we're here, is to get to that. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I was 15 when this movie came out. I definitely liked it when I rented it, but honestly, I don't remember much from my initial experience. Like, I blacked this movie out. I do remember the snarkier bits, and I remember Macaulay Culkin and Ava Amari, I think is how you say her name. Ava Amari's characters, respectively, but yeah, that's about it. And then I revisited it definitely in my early 20s. I did enjoy it. I also was smoking a ton of weed, so I also, once again, greened it out super hard. But much like Ghost World, I don't think it really resonated with me as deeply as it does now. Like, on this viewing, I was like, oh, man, I wish someone made a movie like this when I was a kid. Oh, wait, they did, and it's this movie. Yeah. Wow, I suck.
I definitely, when I was thinking about it before we decided to do it, the things that stood out to me were just, like, the Mandy Moore's character being, like, you know, super funny but psychotic. Yeah. That's the part I remembered, and I was really surprised by the like sweetness. Like, Chuck and I cried multiple times when we watched this movie together on Monday.
Openly wept. Yeah.
It is such a heartwarming film, honestly, and that surprised me on the rewatch.
Yeah, it's like a really like welcome beacon in a sea of movies during this time period, because like maybe that's why I don't remember it as much, is because in my mind's eye, like in my memory of watching it when I was 15, I only remember the snarkier anti-Catholicism bits. Mm-hmm. And then that just kind of like fits in with everything else that would be going on in like 04. It's like, oh yeah, this is like a religion version of 40 Days and 40 Nights, basically. No, I mean, that's what 40 Days and 40 Nights should have been.
Yeah.
But what I mean, like, as akin to like TNA for 40 Days and 40 Nights, this is like, we're gonna skew sexuality. This time we're gonna skew Christianity. Like, that's kind of how I remembered it. So that's why I was also watching it on this time around. I was like, have I actually seen this movie? I don't know if I have. Like, I had to, I mean, it's played. I've seen the intro and I've seen the credits. We'll get to the end. I remember how it ends, so it's like it happened to me at some point in my life.
Right.
But everything in between, I was like, oh, like I was just taken aback. It was like, it felt like being on a roller coaster for the first time. But everyone's like, no, like you've been to Six Flags before. Like, you've been with me. I'm like, I have? Well, I guess I have.
Let's move on to people's most nostalgic scenes for you.
There's so many.
Yeah, it also was hard kind of picking and choosing which scenes were, like, I guess, my favorite. Which is that what we're doing? Like, in this category?
It's mostly top 5. Like,
it's like a greatest hits.
You can have 40, you know, but like, what's your top 3?
Surprisingly, the one that like hit me the hardest was the bathroom scene after she's been kind of, the pregnancy is uncovered for the first time, and she like gets this off her chest to, you know, the crazy. I
love the development of Cassandra, the character.
Cassandra.
Like, that's like so good right there.
She comes in and is just like, doesn't make a big deal about it, is like, this is the fact, you look like you're having a bad day, let's get out of here. And it's just like brings in the overarching theme of the movie, which I think is like actual unconditional acceptance and love instead of performative Christian values. And I think this scene kind of exemplifies it in a really beautiful way.
Well put.
It was also just, I think that's the first time I cried in the movie. I was just like, it's kind of rare, I feel like, in a lot of movies that I watch, to see people just genuinely being nice to each other, which I don't know what that says about my taste in movies exactly, but it's just heartwarming. Absolutely.
Super rare is just to see two teenagers being nice to each other in a movie ever.
And it works so well with the dynamic between those two specifically, you know, because you wouldn't expect a character like Cassandra, or, I think we as an audience, it's not super surprising that Cassandra has this arc, it's like, oh yeah, she is a good person. Like, we knew that, but to have Mary find that out, I mean, I don't know, it's just so... It warms my heart.
Absolutely. The other one, which is one that I did remember fairly accurately from several years ago when I'd seen this, is the welcome assembly with like the Pastor Skip introduction.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Which he literally like front flips onto the stage, like clearly body double. Absolutely amazing.
It was him, damn it. No,
The front flip to whoop, there it is.
That's
too.
right.
There it is.
And the girls have just finished performing their like little group. What are they called again?
The Jewels?
The Christian Jewels.
That's right. The Jewels have just finished their inaugural performance. And there's just a lot going on in that scene, like praying together, everybody's like hands waving in the air. It's just a really like fun encapsulation of like really setting us up to understand the world of this school and how people are all on the same wavelength of this is the values we have. And, so that was another one that I really loved. And then my third, which is one of the funniest scenes in the movie, I think, is the exorcist scene.
Yes. That's what I wrote down too.
Which is absolutely amazingly unhinged and literally like, I am filled with Christ's love, throws Bible, and then she's like, are you kidding me? And then runs away. They're like trying to haul her into the van with the Bible.
Oh, she's about to get abducted.
Yeah, seriously.
You're just jealous of my success in the Lord.
That's right. But also like that giant van just like
yeah.
That's like one of the funniest scenes I've possibly ever seen. So
it was a trailer park exorcism. It was awesome. Yeah, loved it.
Impeccable.
The power of Hidden Valley Ranch compels you.
How about you, Taylor?
I mean, you pretty much named like also like my top three.
Really?
Sure. Yeah. To just elaborate further on the assembly scene, because there's so much that happens.
There's
in
a
that
lot
scene.
that
It's
goes
so
on.
good. I also just love when Mandy Moore is like singing her song and then like stops to be like, "Oh, I mean that." She's singing about how the Lord's so good to her, or whatever, and it's just Mandy Moore in this role is everything to me.
She's so good. Also, just the hand waving from them, from everybody at a certain point, is just something that I have never like personally done in my entire life or felt compelled to do, and it's just really funny to me.
Oh yeah, same. And then my favorite part of that assembly is when Cassandra starts speaking in tongues, and she's just like, and finally Mandy Moore's just like, she's saying she has a hot pussy, like that's what's happening, and the boys are like, she's gonna show her boobs. That was like the moment, like even like Cassandra's entrance is like, it's like, okay, she's the rebel, like she's just like, I hope this secondhand smoke kills you, and blah blah blah, and I'm gonna park in it.
Out of her car.
Exactly. Yeah, and then just that really solidified her as like, someone I kind of looked up to.
I couldn't tell if it was creepy or pathetic how the pastor tried to fold it into the performance, the speaking in tongues part.
Oh,
it's a little of both. I think it's like,
I think he genuinely thinks that that's what's happening. Like, even if I think there's a part of him that's like, okay, she might be making fun of what's going on. I don't think that he caught on to the pussy bit.
Okay.
I think because I just recently watched a documentary about evangelical Christians, and like the speaking in tongues, that's not abnormal. Like that's like pretty, like
for some groups.
For some, the specific groups. But I think it makes sense in this context, like for him to embrace it. So I didn't read it as creepy, but I can see how you might.
Yeah.
He's definitely he's playing the politician role too.
I think so. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, where it's just kind of like, yeah, the pastor, he's cool. Like, he's a fun guy. He does backflips. And, like, he's in on the joke too, kids. But also, at the end of the day, it's about Christ's love. And it's about getting getting your schoolwork done.
Who's down with G-O-D?
Exactly.
I'm down with the G-O-D, Jesus Christ. Oh man, okay, because you are mentioning there's so many good moments. I really do love when Mary finds out she's pregnant.
Oh my god,
yeah. Watching is it Valerie Bertinelli, the Lifetime movie, and she's like, well, found out I wasn't pregnant, it was the cancer. And then
cancer, please let it be cancer.
Exactly. That was like the most relatable thing, because that's what I never got accidentally pregnant as a teenager, but that's what I would think. I would prefer cancer over
especially
that.
with that limited
It's
amount
so
of education,
stigmatized.
right?
Yeah.
Also, just having your period be like a few days late, and then it doesn't matter if you're like a virgin teenager, you're like, I'm probably pregnant. I don't know how it happened, but the fear is real.
Yeah, on that same note, I thought I had an STI when I was a virgin. It was an ingrown hair. Yeah. But it was like, there's something touched something, and then maybe I borrowed some shorts. Maybe, I don't know. Like, oh God. I'm like, I can't tell my mom.
That's funny, because I think your mom would be one of the most accepting parents and just be like, so we'll get you some medicine and you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Love you, Mom.
I think I can mention two more. And one is the first hangout between Cassandra and Roland.
Oh, that's on. Yeah, you guys have touched on everything except for that. So far on
it's so cute. I really love their romance, and also kind of connected to that scene is them catching Mary walking out of Planned Parenthood, and it goes into Mary cussing at the giant cross. I love that scene so much. Like, she's so vulnerable in that moment, but it's so goofy. It's like the worst thing she could do is just say fuck, to like a giant cross.
There's a really fun line in that scene too that, I'm sorry if I'm stealing anyone's band name early, but there's Cassandra is insinuating why she would be going to a Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
And Roland's first reaction is like, oh, fuck, she's got a pipe bomb.
Yes. She's like, okay, 2 reasons. Yeah. And then he's like, I think there's a better chance of that pipe bomb.
Exactly.
And then the towards the end, after prom, when Hillary freaks out and drives her van into Jesus, into the giant Jesus statue. So good. Yeah.
Her giant pimple.
With her giant pimple. Yeah, everything about
bright
that.
Blue
and
eyeshadow.
Cassandra and Roland running to her aid, because they're good people, even though she's a piece of shit, like, she's clearly in distress. And I love that the head falls on the windshield and she's like, Jesus Christ.
On first viewing, Luke, did you have any favorite scenes we didn't touch on just yet?
No, that pretty much, it is a first viewing. I'm going to watch it again, but Cassandra's and Roland's burgeoning relationship is what I like the most. They're the two characters I identified with the most, I think.
Yeah.
And I was trying to quantify what this plot was, and there's actually an A, B, C, and D, and E plot. So there's A plot with Jenna Malone, B plot Cassandra and Roland, C plot Mandy Moore, D plot Patrick Fugit and his dad.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then there's another one.
Mom and Pastor Skip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep, that too. So it's like the story still works, even though it's so fragmented.
Yeah.
It's like it's done really well.
Oh, I think I want to touch on the Patrick Fugit character, because I also really enjoyed their romance as well.
Sure.
Yes, me too.
Because it is built on that same principles of the acceptance. Like, when they decide to go to prom together officially, I definitely cried then, because he's like, he just showed 2 corsages. I didn't know which one would go best, and she's like, oh, look at me, and he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just like you.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah.
He's
turned out way better than his dad.
He's a cutie. We could talk about this later. He's a cutie with bad hair.
It was late 90s.
And then the only thing that we didn't touch on, and it's just such a tiny scene, but the only other thing that I have on my favorite is Hilary Faye's introduction at the gun range.
yeah.
Where she's just like blasting targets and
Right in the crotch.
I was trying to figure out. It's nitpicky, but there's a weird. Their choice of weapons is weird.
yeah.
I couldn't quite figure out what each one of them had. Like Mandy Moore has like a more common looking, firearm, and then Jenna Malone's has an old revolver, and her fucking revolver is huge. It's like a Dirty Harry 45 huge. Because the end of the barrel is fucking massive, and Mandy Moore's is like a smaller, almost a Desert Eagle, but it's not. But it's just weird. It's the thing I focused on. I thought the filmmaker was trying to tell me something by what they chose.
I think they were trying to tell you that it was kind of a lower budget, like teen comedy, and it was like, hey man, Paramount had these guns lying around.
These were the guns we could get.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Might have been Dirty Harry's gun, for all we know. Just like they just dust it off and like, yeah. It's like turn it in by Wednesday. Here you go.
I'm pretty sure I was just reading into it too far.
Also, there's a scene where Mandy Moore's like scheming and praying, and it like pans over her room, and there are like several gun awards inside of her bedroom, which is just kind of amazing. I love it for her. Like, someone tries to fucking rape me, like cocks the gun.
Yeah.
Well, according to their shots, like they showed the targets. Like there was the headshots and then the cock shots.
Yeah, she's just going for the cock.
Fucking it. They could have been standing 10 feet from the target. But it's
very
still
small, great detail is one of the, because you talked about the awards, one of the awards in her room is the eye for an eye, like gun range, like sharpshooter award, which is like a perfect little just, kind of nod to like, oh yeah, no, everyone's missing the point of this whole Christianity thing.
I reflexively want to just exclaim Jesus, but like it's like it's like spot on for this.
Well, we talked about all the good. Does anyone have any worse scenes or moments that they wish you could forget?
The conversion camp stuff, but it honestly is just something that's just sad to me, and it's still relevant today, of like just shipping this kid off immediately. But honestly, it is serving the entire like thesis and plot so well, and it's handled well. So that was the only thing I could really think of. It's a tight little movie, like it rocks, and there's not a lot of like bad scenes, and every time something starts to build, it is actually resolved in the movie, like the mom like considering sending her away or being neglectful, that is resolved because she has that come to Jesus moment and is there and shows up for her daughter and is fully supportive. And
you didn't ruin my life.
It's like, I love you, you're the best thing to happen to me, and I'm gonna take care of you too.
So. I agree. There was no fat to trim on this. It was completely, everything was needed, everything was useful, well played.
I'm gonna use that as my perfect segue. So there's no fat to trim. The only scene, for me, is the public fat shaming of Hilary Faye. That was pretty fucked up.
Right.
Where it's like, she's like a bully and she's out to get you and stuff like that. But this is like, it's like a very like below the belt punch kind of thing.
It really is, and it really stood out to me, especially on this rewatch. And I think Macaulay Culkin's character Roland at one point says like, now like people can see her, or back then her outside matched her inside. Which is fucked up to say, because he's not meaning that in a good way. She's a narrow-minded, tacky ass bitch, and so like
she was ugly then, and she was ugly on the inside, kind of thing. And now that she's pretty, like
that was fucked up. Does not age well.
That was it for me.
But that was so on point for the time.
It's true,
So not that excuses it at all.
It doesn't, and I'm not super mad at. It's not the most egregious thing in the world, but it really, I could do with cutting that out of the movie, and it would still be,
for sure,
perfect. I think the one thing, I didn't think I was gonna have anything for this, and I'm still conflicted about this, but I really don't like Pastor Skip. Like
he sucks.
He sucks, and I thought that there was like maybe something redeemable about him, and there really isn't. And I don't need, personally, him showing up at the end with flowers. I don't need it. He doesn't need to have any type of redemption for me. And that still doesn't redeem him in my eyes.
I was going to say, I don't even know if it is redemption. I think it's just like his last ditch, like, well, okay, I guess I'll bring flowers.
The way Mary Louise Parker, is that her name? The way she looks at him kind of makes it.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, oh, he cares. And it's like.
I think it's like, this is a very generous interpretation of him actually hearing what Mary said and finding some way to actually try to accept himself a little bit. And that's, as I said, generous reading of the situation. Also, kind of unnecessary.
I mean, I'm really like, this is like a nitpick. Like, it's never bothered me in the past. And I kind of agree with what you just said. Yeah. For some reason on this last rewatch, I really had it out for Pastor Skip, man. He was bugging the hell out of me.
My impression was it was the actor.
I do not enjoy that actor.
He was the weakest link of the movie, I think.
Fully agree. Yes.
And I think we didn't get like the intensity of Pastor Pat or whatever his name was. Skip, sorry.
Pastor Skip.
I mean, the way that he is just like a disconnected kind of like, his whole life is like when he's in front of doing his like assembly thing, that's his like highlight, what he's living for. But he's a personally like a mess.
Yeah.
Like, his wife is off in another country for years apparently, and he's just like, no, I will not get divorced.
Yeah.
And at the same time he's dating Mary Louise Parker. So
Right.
they were I'll save that for a different section.
She's quick.
She is.
Sorry, I'm getting used to it.
No, it's all good. So are we. This is our third episode of this format. So.
I like it.
And,
You know,
there's very
keep
little
it tight.
bad.
Yeah.
I think about this movie. A lot of this is a highly quotable movie, I think.
Yes. I think so, yeah. I think if I had seen it earlier, I would definitely be quoting it.
This is a very rewatchable movie, in my opinion, because I watch it pretty often. So I'm excited for you to like.
Oh yeah,
you know, watch it more.
Hell yeah. I was. I mean, I think at the time it came out, I didn't really think of Macaulay Culkin as much of an actor or a thespian, but he fucking nails it in this, and he's actually got a deeper character than I think he's ever played.
And he's cute.
He's got great hair in this one, I'll say.
Yeah, I feel like we just kind of like, you know, we wrote him off too soon. With like,
I grew up with him as Home Alone
I know,
kid,
that's what I
so
mean.
and then all his brothers, and then.
Well, I was gonna say, I think like Kieran like picked it up and was just like, oh, like, wait a minute, like my brother can act and no one can see that.
Yeah.
I can act as well. I'm just gonna show up. Yeah, I'm just gonna show the fuck up.
Love Kieran Culkin.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh
He's
my God.
so good.
Me too.
Cool. We're gonna move on to the cocktail.
Yeah.
All right.
So for this movie's cocktail, is actually a mocktail. We have the Restored Virgin Mary, 1.5 ounces of vodka, 2 ounces of tomato juice, a tablespoon of horseradish, a dash of celery salt, 3 dashes of hot sauce, 3 dashes of Worcester sauce, a squeeze of lemon. Fill a glass with ice. Pour in the vodka, and then immediately strain out the liquor. Mix the rest of ingredients over said ice and ask Jesus for forgiveness. We all have our slips.
Very nice. Very, very good. I like it.
It's delicious.
I make a mean Bloody Mary. I don't know. I will brag about that.
We did violate this Virgin Bloody Mary again.
You know,
That is true.
you just gotta put your hands up and pray, Lauren.
That's right.
It was a rough summer. Everyone had to have committed some kind of act of sin or adultery.
Let's go take an ad break. And we're back with Act 2 of the Evidence Board. So this was released in 2004. That's about all I got.
So I just looked down at my notes when you said it was released in 2004, and something very dated in this movie. When Jenna Malone's character Mary is searching gay after finding out her boyfriend's gay, it's on AskJeeves.com.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Throwback.
Yep.
We were still asking Jeeves. I love it.
Yep.
It cost $5 million, but it made $10 million, so that was a hit.
That's
Right
a
on.
success.
Yeah. Written and directed by Brian Danley. The original script was way darker. There was a bit with Hilary Faye and Cassandra speaking in tongues to each other that got cut, apparently. And then it was like almost Heathersy, like in the original script. It ended with Hilary Faye shooting up the school.
Oh my god.
The original draft was like way darker.
Whoa.
I kind of want to see this movie. I mean, I'm glad it's not this movie.
And the film is semi-autobiographical. Writer-director Brian Danley based the good chunks of the film on his own experiences of coming out as a gay young teenager in his Christian community.
All right.
He did not have a great time. He got kicked out and basically sent to conversion camp and all that really awful stuff. Speaking of awful stuff, several groups actually pulled out of this film last minute. They were already paid, but they pulled out due to its slander of Christianity, which how the fuck were you not aware of things being said in a movie? I don't know. But they lost several key locations day of the shoot. And then the original prom band also bailed last minute.
Bizarre.
Interesting.
Yeah. But on the brighter side of things, in 2008, they actually launched a very successful staged musical version of this film.
Oh,
That's
really?
what I remember.
Yeah.
I do remember that happening.
Lauren, let's do it. We're making really intense eye contact right now.
Oh my god.
Should we produce this fucking play?
Oh my god. We can get some of those kids we saw in that last musical show. Oh my god.
Okay.
Wheels are turning, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
right.
Okay.
And then for alternative casting, I just have one. Anne Hathaway was originally supposed to play Hilary Faye.
Oh.
She accepted the part and everything, but had a severe scheduling conflict with Ella Enchanted.
Okay.
So she chose Ella Enchanted over Saved. Which, I mean, you got to chase that Disney money. I get it.
This is, it's a whole whirlpool of crossover with Princess Diaries,
Yes.
actually.
Yep.
Totally.
Mandy Moore and Heather Matarazzo.
Mm-hmm.
Both in that.
Totally.
Which, by the way, love her in this movie. Getting the tiara at the end.
Yeah.
Tia is an unsung hero in this film,
yeah.
right?
She's
so good.
She's there just trying to get in, but she doesn't put up with shit when things start going bad.
Hilary Faye, you bought them for yourself, so it doesn't count. She's so funny in this movie.
I didn't have anything for Usual Suspects. I don't know about you.
I got a bunch.
Oh, you got a bunch? I'm excited.
Just like what Lauren said, the Princess Diaries. Mm-hmm. But we got Heather Matarazzo. So these are the usual suspects is people involved in this film who are involved with previous films that we've done. So we got Heather Matarazzo, who I love. She's in a lot of things. But she's also on The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Oh, okay. So this is I was because I didn't see anything directly. So okay.
I had to reach, but it's,
all right.
it's pretty
I'll give
close.
it to you.
So in their last film, we had Michael C. Morona, who's older Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Big Pete, as they call him. Big Papa Pete.
Big Pete.
We have Jenna Malone, and she was in the film Johnny Darko with Maggie Gyllenhaal, who was in 40 Days and 40 Nights in the last movie. Mm-hmm. And we have Patrick Fugit, who was in Risk Cutters with Shannon Salsamon, who's also in 40 Days.
So it's a little Kevin Bacon action. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta put the red yarn
degrees
across
to
the
Yeah,
top.
I'm down to start doing that more then with this, because with this category, I've always been like,
Well, this is the first one that's actually happened.
Yeah.
All their other films have been so wildly different that nobody's been involved or shared films with each other. So
This isn't, I don't think, the point of the category, but I did want to take note of it because Pastor Skip and Mary Louise Parker were both on Weeds together, and he plays
right.
an equally way more toxic piece of shit, but they are romantically involved in that. And it must have just been a few years later when she got that, because it's right around the same time, I think. And
I remember her name a lot, but I never watched much of what she was in. Mm-hmm. But I do remember both of them on screen together way more. So yeah, that's true.
yeah,
I always get her and Parker Posey confused. Which they don't look alike or anything.
Dude.
It's I think it's
Just
the
the names.
name and stuff. So I'm always like,
So wires
Parker
crossed.
Posey is the lady in Weeds.
Right.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got for Usual Suspects.
that's amazing. That was some
Oh, thank you.
some well thought out jumps.
Some desperate attempts there. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Those straws, you grasped for them and baby, you grabbed them.
That's a bale of hay right there, bud.
Yeah.
Well, the evidence board, I'm picturing Charlie Day's, the meme,
Yeah.
the meme evidence board. We fucking reach. Yeah. Nitpicks.
Oh,
Thinks I hate it.
I got a couple small ones personally.
I've got one that was brought to my attention by our dear friend Ivy Miller yesterday when I was talking about Saved.
Yeah.
Which is Eva
Amarari, yeah.
cult thing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is she part of Nexum?
Yes.
Oh, no, I loved her. Damn you. You broke my heart, Cassandra.
Cassandra, the gal who plays her, after this, she kind of went on to Battlestar Galactica, I think. She's in that, and there she hooked up with one of the blonde ladies on there, and they're part of a cult, and they actually got married so they wouldn't have to testify against each other in regards to this cult.
Oh, that means that Cassandra did a lot of the bad.
Yeah.
That's what that means. Oh, she's a brander. That sucks.
They were top tier, bringing in, young ladies to get fucked by this cult leader.
All right. Wow, we got a lot of...
Is this true?
Hi, this is future editor Luke. We did some research and we found out this was indeed not correct. It is wrong. We do a retraction. Please keep listening. Thank you.
I'm going to do... I mean, I believe my wife. I'm a married man.
Too.
I stand by her. But
I trust you.
I completely
that breaks my heart.
Forgot about it, and then I was talking about Saved
I had
the other
no idea
day.
she was... Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to cancel
And
the hell out of her.
This does change things.
Ivy was just like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, I did not, but thank you.
That fucking sucks.
It does fucking suck.
Because she's my favorite character in this goddamn
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And I was about to talk about how hot she is and all this stuff, which is still true, but I'm upset.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
But the one thing we deal with, especially on this podcast, is separating the art from the artist.
Well, we have to in this case because
And,
she doesn't exist as a real person to me now. Only Cassandra the character exists
Sure.
in my
Exactly.
brain.
Yeah.
You gotta separate. You know how many goddamn times Jeffrey Jones alone has broke my heart on this fucking podcast already?
We're almost called the Jeffrey Jones podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Well, aside from that one,
it's a
mine are
bombshell right
small,
there.
small potatoes. Mine is just like, it's 2004, so we're doing a lot of homophobic slurs and fat shaming.
Yeah.
And then this is like nitpick. But, because again, full disclosure, Lauren said earlier, I cried, but it does borderline on after school special during that final, let the kids from the conversion therapy camp into prom.
Yeah.
And no, we can't kind of scene. It got me. Waterworks were fully turned on, but the cynic in me does recognize a little bit of it almost gets there. It almost gets there with really, there. Here's the message. This is the message. Look at the message. Can you read the message? It's in my hand. I'll show it to you. But that being said, I mean, they still do a great job of it. So
So just Jenna Malone, can you actually just fully explain the message of the movie? Thank
exactly.
you. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me, but I'm with you there.
That's my only
it's like
nitpick.
you're on the verge.
Yeah.
I guess this would fall into the nitpick category. And it's also, I don't know if it's a sign of the times. It's still something that we in Hollywood nowadays we're not really doing very often, but casting disabled actors to play disabled characters.
There's that.
It doesn't happen often or ever really.
Yeah.
And as much as I love Macaulay Culkin in this movie, and it doesn't feel egregious at all. But that's just one thing where I'm just I can't speak for that community, but I feel like that's just such a blow.
I totally understand. Yeah, that did cross my mind as soon as I saw Macaulay Culkin in a wheelchair. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh.
Yeah, and they don't I don't know, the disabled character and how they treat that character in the writing is, I think, really well done. It's not, I don't know. I just think they did a great job with that character.
Sure.
Yeah. I think that, and I don't know if Macaulay was sought out for that exact role, but I think Macaulay showed up and they were like, bro, we got a part for you. We need to bring you back into the limelight. You're doing a good job here. That was kind of my, wasn't in the casting decision booth, so I can't speak
I'm
to that.
glad he's in it. I love him in this movie.
I have one nitpick that's kind of standard for me, but this being a white Christian film, there are 3 people of color that I counted. And they are so briefly, I forget her name, one of the gems, she's Vietnamese.
Yeah.
But her adopted parents are black. they're in it for all of 3 seconds.
Exactly.
It was like,
She gets like, and that actress gets like 3 lines.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, she does at least get like a big one at the end where she is like kind of like, fuck you, Hillary Faye, like sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So at least they give her that. But yeah, it is like and we have the token person of color in the hangout group.
It's a very white movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Extremely white. And let's go ahead and take our second ad break.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like looking into this now. I think I got it wrong.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
I think so, because I just like, it was like, I didn't fact check this at all. I'm
That's
going
fine.
on hearsay.
That's okay. That's what we're going to come. We're going to come back with that right now.
Me and Taylor, I forget which one it was, but we started the fake rumor thing. Remember that? We tried to. Nobody listened to it.
I'm sorry. Fake rumor? You mean the truth?
The truth? Yeah. Try to expose the truth. That's what I meant. Yeah.
It's someone who looks very much like her. I can
But
see
it's
why
not.
Ivy was confused.
Should we just let
What
it
is her
be?
name? No.
No.
Oh, it's Allison Mack.
I'm kidding.
No, not that
Is that
one.
your talking about or Grace Park?
Grace Park, I think.
Okay, because Allison Mack's like the lady.
The lady, which is, I knew who she was.
Yeah.
No, our gal is Susan Sarandon's daughter.
I knew that.
there we go.
I knew
Ooh.
that. Yeah.
So she's a good lady, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I was
Alright.
about it was gonna bring me on this whole spiral. I was gonna talk afterwards.
I did
like,
see you get crushed. I'm very sorry.
I was
so sorry to do that to
Like,
you.
how is Susan Sarandon handling this? Like,
I clearly did not do any research. I was literally filling out the
should we
questionnaire.
call Ivy right now and be like,
On-
put her on speaker?
Put her on
be
the
like,
air.
listen.
Hey, you broke Taylor's
let
heart for approximately 3.5 minutes. So,
And we would like to just formally apologize to Ava Amory.
yes,
We
Yeah.
are sorry.
slanderous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I apologize. And that was my bad.
Are we still on break?
Are we still on break?
Oh, we're always recording. So
I know.
a break is a break. You
I
know.
was gonna ask.
I was going to ask if we're back.
Do we?
Well,
it
I
seems
plan,
like
I plan
Taylor's
on
thirsty.
I plan on airing this
Yeah.
as our correction.
Okay, good.
So
Oh, nice. Okay.
yeah, it's no big deal.
Okay.
We'll put this in.
I would like to take this time to deeply apologize.
I'd also consider just editing out the conversation about that from before,
Yeah,
so we don't get a
Yeah.
lawsuit. But
sure. I mean,
as long as we have a correction,
We're detracted. I don't know.
yeah.
Leave it in your very beautiful, capable hands.
If the lawyers come, I live in Mexico. So.
There we go.
All right, once again, Act 3, the categories. Who won the movie? Very, very difficult, I think. No?
I have a thought.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
We got some
I have
opinions
a
already.
strong
All right.
thought as well.
Okay.
It's hard because there are like I there's a part of me that just like wants to give it to Jenna Malone because I think she's so lovely in this film, but it for sure goes to Mandy Moore. Right?
Yeah.
She.
I like that
is-
we're all unanimous. I was like, it was that thing where it's like, oh, this is going to be the hardest like argument we're about to ever. Oh my God, Mandy Moore.
Yeah.
She tears it
She
up.
tears it the fuck up, dude. She is so. Every choice she makes in this movie is genius. She is a comedic genius in this film.
It's quite good. I've never
love
seen
her.
her in anything before. I never listened to her music.
I'm missing you like candy.
I was a big Candy fan.
Just because I avoided pop culture during this
Yeah.
time, and I had no idea who she was, but she is hilarious in this. And I kind of carries the movie.
Yeah.
She's as the villain or whatever. She kind of does carry the movie.
No, she gives you plot points.
Yeah.
Like, her nastiness is what drives the film. It's like, gotta hide the pregnancy, obviously because, like, unwed mother thing, but it's like, I think she's more afraid of Hillary Faye than
Yeah.
her mom.
Yeah.
So it's like, no. Like, one day we will tell Mary Louise Parker, I'm taking this shit to my grave
Yeah.
with Mandy Moore. Like, she's never gonna find out.
I like the choice, but I put down Jesus.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he wins every movie.
I put down Jesus. Duh.
Duh.
And
Our
also,
Lord and Savior.
not
guys.
not sure if anything that has been detracted now, slanderous stuff, will make it into the podcast. So if you're hearing this for the first time, forget I said anything. But I have, Ava Amory is like very close second.
Whoa,
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
There's so many, like I said, there's so many different plots. There's A, B, C, and D, and E. Like there's a lot of things to follow in this. It's done really well. And I would say like the Jenna Malone character is pretty much kind of overshadowed. Her story and everything's almost overshadowed by everyone around her.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't want it to be, but that's kind of how I saw it.
I think every plot really complements each other. You
Oh,
know?
I agree.
Yeah.
But I kind of forgot that Jenna Malone was in the movie for half of it.
Sure.
Just because it was focusing on so many other characters.
Sure. Yeah.
But that could just be my attention span. But like I said, I mean, they did it really well.
I've also seen this movie like 100 times.
There you go. Yeah. I'm sure if
Just
I
focus on
paid more
someone new
attention
every
to
time.
it.
Yeah.
I think they can be seen as operating separate parallels, but they, in the end, coming around to the major point is centered around her and the reaction to the events that her pregnancy has set in motion in terms of everybody coming together in the end. So I guess in that sense, but there are a lot of times when there are just plots driving themselves and they're not relating to her at all. It wraps up so nicely.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like showing the receipts at prom, you know, and then she's like, well, you also bought clothes from Maternity Girl. And then Tia comes in with the save baby. Yeah.
But Tia being in that group wouldn't be there if she wasn't kicked out, and I don't know if any of the other jewels would have had the backbone to stand up the way that she does.
Yeah, because she's treated like shit.
She's
completely.
like, enough is enough.
Totally. I know there's not like a fashion moment, but I feel like I just need to say it.
You can give a fashion award.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna give. Okay, great. I'm gonna give an award, and then I'm gonna give. What's the opposite of an award? A failing grade.
I think it's just stripping someone of their medals.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to strip Mary's mom of her medals when it comes to that awful blonde wig. Did you guys fucking notice how terrible that blonde? Thank God she dyes it back, but it's like it's so glaring. I can't even pay attention to what the actor is doing.
Oh my God,
it's so fucking bad.
It's showing the passage of time.
Sure. But the prom. The scene when Mary goes to meet up with Cass and Roland, and they're in their prom outfits. Oh my God! Did you guys feel feelings like I felt feelings? I mean, I already have a giant crush on both of them, and both of them in the tux, like, whew, they looked great.
Oh yeah,
amazing! I've never looked that hot in my life.
I am going to a wedding tomorrow and was trying to shop for, I thought, a dress, but seriously considered buying a multiple piece linen suit option, which I did not end up going for, but I think that was heavily influenced by recently watching this movie and being like, oh man, I could just get a lacy push-up bra and really like ruin this gal's wedding.
Lean in.
But also the matching Jules prom situation is just quintessentially 2004, I'd like to say.
Truly. Yeah.
All right. My new band name.
Yeah.
A memorable quote or a reference that would make a cool, edgy band name. And what would the genre be?
Go for it, Luke.
Towards the end, I really got floored by I'm the father, I'm the boyfriend, I'm the boyfriend's father, or I'm the father's boyfriend.
Yes.
So I got the father, the boyfriend, and the father's boyfriend.
That's good.
Mine is from a Mandy Moore quote where she's flirting with Patrick Fugit and she's asking which country had the worst heathens. And so I think worst heathen would be a good
That's
band
awesome.
name.
Damn, that's a really good band name.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Do you have any, Taylor?
I do.
I have 4. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, great. I'll go. I have 2. I have one that I like. I hated because I couldn't think of any. I wasn't paying attention, but I wrote it down. So the first I wrote down the Scooter Exorcist. They would be a pop punk band. Their first album would be "Burn in Hell, You Narrow-Minded Tacky Ass Bitch." That's might be my favorite quote in the whole movie. But then on the drive here, I thought this is also a bad name, but the Muffin Shop would be a really fun all girl punk band. You know, yeah, like
Hell yeah.
you know. Close for Business, maybe an album title. Who knows?
I love it.
Yeah.
So I've got The Ultimate Rebel. They're a reactionary Christian country music group. And then, that's one of the things that Pastor Skip calls Jesus.
Yeah.
He does.
He's like, The biggest CEO we've got, the ultimate rebel. We have Tia's Tiara, which is a female R&B group.
There you go.
Which is one of my favorite bits in the whole movie. Is
That's
just
so
lay
good.
off the tiara, Tia. Yeah. Just lay off the tiara, Tia. Just, it's not happening. And I love that she gets it at the end. Like after Mandy Moore's disgrace, she picks it up.
It resolves. Yeah.
She's like, fuck yeah, I'm going to rock this thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap this up real quick. We've got Please Let It Be Cancer, which are a folk punk group. They would totally open for Andrew Jackson Jihad. It's like right there. It's a perfect billing.
There you go.
And then finally, we have the Unwed Mothers Club. They're a riot girl punk rock group. That's like what, I forget the exact quote, but she says something like, she's looking at her day planner and she's like, well, like I'll be a member of the Unwed Mothers Club 1 day or like 1 week after prom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right on. Updated movie name or movie title.
I think Saved is perfect.
Yeah,
I think it's perfect.
I couldn't think of it.
I think it's great. Yeah. I couldn't come up with much. I have Devout Doubt, and if this came out in 2018 and not 2023, it would be God's Plan.
I think that did come out in 2018.
Oh, I mean that came out in 2018, but you could get you could get a Drake tie-in. It'd be great. We'd get more butts and seats.
The Roger Deakins Would Be Proud Award for cinematography. Any standout shots from you?
I think when they're at the beginning, when they're screaming confessional in the pool and she hits her head and Jesus swims down.
Okay.
Is just like this beautiful ethereal lighting from behind into the water.
It's
and
so
that was
creepy.
really the only one I can think of.
Yeah. It's a very competent film.
Yes.
I couldn't like pinpoint anything that really stood out to me, but it was it was not like boring. It was very entertaining. I didn't notice any of the cinematography.
Yeah, I didn't notice any camera work. I just kind of got a second Lauren's thing. That was what I wrote down too. Was just like the ethereal Jesus like pool scene.
Yeah.
Right on.
I mean, yeah.
Cool.
I feel the same way.
I guess the only other one that I actively noticed was Jenna Malone, I think, knows she's pregnant. I think this is right after the exorcism scene, and Patrick Fugit pulls up on his Vespa.
Not a scooter.
And it's just, most of it's very like practically filmed. It's like close up, back and forth. It's group shots if there have to be. But within this, there's an insert shot of that's pretty far away, and you see her isolated walking along, and then he pulls up right in front of her, and you see this from pretty far away, and then it goes into these close-up shots, and that stood out to me because it's the only shot like that in the movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess. But
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
it definitely showed her like sense of isolation after being ostracized from her girls. And then this person that she kind of likes but doesn't really know kind of shows up and is like there and supportive for her, I think.
Very nice. Yeah, I like that.
I still want to talk about their relationship.
We also have is that Channing Tatum in a dog collar award? Awarded to an actor with an unexpected cameo or bit part. Personally, want to give it to Heather Matarazzo. I don't know how to say her name.
Matarazzo.
Matarazzo.
Yeah.
Matarazzo. Heather Matarazzo as Tia. Just like, she's one of those actors that I'm like, every time she pops up in something, she takes me out of the movie because I'm like, oh shit,
It's you.
it's Dawn. It's Dawn from Welcome to the Dollhouse. Holy shit.
Yeah.
She's all grown up.
Yeah.
I put down Macaulay Culkin
Yeah, him too.
just because I didn't expect it to be so much of a Macaulay film. I thought it was a Jenna Malone film, but we spent a lot of time with Macaulay Culkin.
It's a pretty balanced ensemble film, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah. We don't have any Hans Gruber award.
Oh, I actually have one.
Yeah.
Do we have
Mandy
one?
Moore crashing into Jesus
Yeah, I
at
was
the
like,
end.
Christ decapitation is what I wrote.
There you
Christ
go.
decapitation.
Yeah.
That works for me. Controversial hot take. I have a very serious one that's going to blow all your minds, but I want to see what y'all have.
I have one. I mean, it's a hot take, Cassandra should have been expelled like several times for acting out. Like she went to school drunk. It's a Christian Catholic school, so like they take blasphemy very seriously.
When did she go to school drunk?
Oh, maybe it's the mall drunk.
That's the mall. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's
she
rolls up to school with like beer cans
she would
falling
have
out
been
of her
expelled
car.
in real life.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I feel like smoking on campus.
Smoking
is
on
a
campus,
problem. Showing your tits in assembly is a problem.
Yeah, she talks about like she's like, well, I'm only here because I'm on such thin ice, and it's like, well, if you're on that thin ice, like, I think you want to do homeschool. Like you're saying you don't, but you want to do homeschool.
They want to save her.
What is your hot take, Luke?
This might, I don't know if it's going to ruin the film for anybody. It is a speculation. It is.
Oh, I know what it is.
You know what it is?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
So I think the whole movie is a dream.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
As Jenna Malone is dying in the water.
Oh, you think this is a Jacob's Ladder scenario?
It's a gravity situation where the death actually happens when she hits her head, and the entire movie takes place in her imagination as she slowly loses oxygen.
Well,
I don't believe that.
I don't think it is either.
I don't
That's
think
my
it
hot take.
is, but I don't dislike that idea.
Have you seen Gravity?
No.
I have not, but you just explained it to me.
Kind of. Sorry.
And now I
No,
won't.
it's okay.
It's Sandra Bullock, the one she's in space.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch, I did. I just, the only thing I remember is her in space.
Well, the thing is, like, people speculate that she actually died at the beginning during the explosion, and like she's slowly losing oxygen and like hallucinates the entire movie.
Okay.
But it's like really, it stands up if you watch it. It's like, yeah, it could be that.
That's why I went Jacob's Ladder, because that whole movie is just
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, okay, fuck. I'm sorry if I ruined that. I don't know. It came out in like
1,000 years ago.
it came out in like 89.
Yeah, it was
so
like
like that
88,
time.
This is on
remember
par
it.
with like Bruce Willis seeing dead people.
Yeah,
level of
exactly.
spoiler.
Exactly. Yeah.
I thought your hot take was going to be that she should have gotten an abortion.
Oh no. I was surprised, but like that, that's almost never going to be my decision or like my.
Yeah.
I have no opinion on that for anybody in any way.
Sure.
So like whatever anybody decides is up to them.
Yeah.
So like I didn't even register that she was still having the baby until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is off doing their own thing. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's happening. Good. Fine.
Well, abortion brings us into time for another Spider-Man award. Do we need a remake?
I don't think so.
No, it's a pretty perfect kind of encapsulation of what they're trying to say and at that time specifically. So
I wonder how this is a 2004 look at Christianity, and this was like back then. This was hoorah, we're going to war. George Bush is president, or he's
a lot of
our
George Bush action in this film.
he's our Christian
background.
savior in the White House.
Yeah.
And this movie must have grinded some gears. Today, I'm not sure it would hit as hard.
I don't know though. We're like in the post-Trump. It might for a
It's
few.
a different
I
Christianity.
agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you, Luke. I think that this was I'm glad it came out at the time that it did.
Yeah,
It really
and I'm
fit.
wondering if I didn't hear so much hoopla about it because it was shoved down, or I don't know. Because this is definitely something. This is in my wheelhouse. I would have watched the hell out of this.
Yeah.
If I'd have known it was subversive and the way it is. So I don't know.
from the cover, it does not look super subversive, really.
I've never seen a Jenna Malone movie that wasn't. So I was in as soon as I saw her on the cover. I knew it was going to be a Jenna Malone movie. So I'm like, fucking A, let's do it. But for some reason, I never watched it.
Yeah. I talked to a coworker about this movie today, mentioning that I was going to do this tonight, and his reaction was, I remember the DVD cover from, like, it is it's an iconic, like, image.
It
right
really
there
is,
with
yeah.
the hands met in prayer, and do they have, like, little halos?
There was a halo on one of them.
Yeah.
And like Jenna
little
Malone has the
devil
horns.
horns.
Yeah.
There's one cover I saw that didn't even have, or Jenna Malone's in the back. There's like 5 people. Macaulay Culkin's up front.
Well,
Weird.
he's a selling point.
yeah.
Him and Mandy Moore. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
And it wasn't even Mandy Moore. It was like Mandy Moore was like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s. She was,
baby.
She was everywhere. But
Do we know if she is the one singing the God Only Knows
Yes,
cover?
I'm pretty
of
sure,
course.
yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
It's great.
I didn't even have. Yeah, it's definitely her.
I've
She does a
never-
great job also at that
Yeah.
cover.
and I wondered if they got her in the movie so that she could sing the theme.
Yeah, I wonder if like when we lost Anne Hathaway, it was like, okay, well let's get someone who can sing then.
And she had already been in a few movies.
Yeah,
She
I was
was
gonna say,
in
I'm
A Walk
actually,
to
like, I'm
Remember,
kinda-
and
Bummed that Mandy Moore's not in more stuff because
I-
she's good.
Yeah.
I'm bummed. Well, I don't know, and maybe you guys can tell me, and I have to look it up. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm derailing everything, but
Yeah.
This is I never really watched anything else that she's been in. Like, she's so good in this movie to me, and like I think I've seen snippets of other things. I know she does a lot of drama, and I'm sure she's fantastic in it because I think she was born to fucking act. But is she in more comedy? Because she is a funny ass comedian.
I really don't think she is.
I think she should. That is a miss. Like, she needs to be in more comedy.
Princess Diaries with Anne Hathaway.
She's such a bit part, though.
It is a bit part, and she's kind of playing
like
a
popular,
similar type of. She's the antagonist essentially for the main character, and who is also in a girl group. I think she does sing a song.
They had to pop it in, you know.
I mean,
she's a pop star.
It's probably written into her contract that she has to sing.
Honestly, it might be.
If I was Mandy Moore, I would kind of have that in my writer. Like, let me sing a couple of the songs.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
Yeah.
She's obviously talented, obviously successful, you know.
She was in This Is Us. I feel like that's the biggest thing. I never watched it either. It was a TV series.
I
was looking at her IMDb. She mostly did TV and stuff. So
yeah, so did our director. I looked him up. And it's like he just basically after this he's just making TV money.
Yeah.
Which good on him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slip one in really quick because I don't know if it's actually out of line or not. But it's a sailboat award. What are the themes or bigger messages that the director is trying to convey? I think we talked on it already quite a bit. It's basically
they lay it out pretty clearly.
It is actually theme heavy, and it's good.
Yeah.
I think they do it so well by showing, not telling, too, which is like a pet peeve in any writing. And it's just like across the board. We're gonna like back this up with like 5 different examples of your Christian values, whatever you think you know, this is the reality of like real unconditional love and real acceptance and support, charity, whatever you want to like, however you want to classify it. And it's not because of big man in the sky. It's because we're both human beings, and I can recognize you as a human being and have compassion for you.
Yeah, and like everyone in the movie has a crisis of faith too. Like it's like religion is a double-edged sword. That's like, yes, it's like it can give you building blocks and ideals of how to be a good human being and a good person. But also, I mean, I'm saying it can. I know. I'm not there. I'm right there with you. But but on the double-edged sword kind of thing, it's like it also like life isn't black and white. So it's like
that's exactly
you've got characters like Pastor Skip and Mandy Moore who are just like no. But I've been like Mandy Moore is like I would argue she goes through the worst crisis of faith in the entire movie. When she crashes the car into Jesus, she's like, I fucking did everything I was supposed to be doing.
I would argue it happens right before that when she lies in front of God.
Yeah, that too.
On stage.
Yeah.
That was like the...
And then nothing happens to her necessarily. It's like...
Tia, again, coming in clutch. Swear it, Hillary Faye, Swear to God and everyone else. Yeah. I really love that moment though. When Pastor Skip is like, the Bible is black and white.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, like that. I did. It's a bit heavy-handed, and after school especially, but it's so good. Like it really, I think it works.
It's backed up by the actions of basically everybody in the movie.
Yeah.
And I also love the gay boyfriend. I don't remember his name.
I don't think he gets a name.
He gets a name. Yes, he is.
Mitch?
I just heard it was his date.
Did I make that up?
Starts with a D.
Oh yeah, it's his roommate, right?
But I love them coming back and being like, no, this is my prom. I'm going to be here. We deserve to be here. And like claiming the space.
It's Mitch.
Mitch. We love Mitch. I also, honestly, one of my favorite parts is the first like 20 minutes where it's a lot of montage and voiceover, and it is so funny to me. I can't. It's like, how could he be gay? And there he's figure skating with an I love Jesus. Yeah, and just like sweating. Thank you, Jesus. And I think Jenna Malone, fantastic, but like the voiceover work that she does in this movie is just so spot on tonally, and it doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't feel like lazy at all, because it's just it's a lot of material to cover, and you need her point of view to understand where she's coming from. And
Sure.
it's so enjoyable.
Dean. I found it.
Dean.
Dean's the boy. No, Dean's the boyfriend.
Yes.
But the boyfriend's boyfriend is Mitch.
Oh, the boyfriend's boyfriend is Mitch.
I was talking about Dean.
The
I'm
father's
so
boyfriend.
sorry.
It's fine.
I
A lot of
was-
boyfriends.
Sorry, I was talking about the boyfriend's boyfriend. Yes.
The father's boyfriend.
It's like the Father, the boyfriend, and the Holy Spirit.
The father is Dean.
Be Kind, Please Rewind reward. Would you recommend this film and rewatch it again yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 1,000 times.
I can't
yes.
recommend it enough.
I will be rewatching this for sure.
Yay.
Anytime I fucking weep twice, it's like, yeah, kind of gotta say you should watch this.
I still have that VHS tape that my dad got me when I was 13.
There you
That
go.
has been rewound many a times.
Alrighty. The Neil Breen Struggle for Relevance Award. I don't even think he applies here, but yeah, like all the themes in this movie
Yeah.
stand up.
Unfortunately, super relevant.
Yeah, we're
like-
still a very repressed Christian nation.
I think totally. Even more recently, like we're seeing such in the name of Christian values, like the abortion bans that are happening all over the
Yes.
country, the anti-trans,
Anti-trans, anti-gay.
anti-gay, all of it,
Yes.
and this is all being done with the like standing of like bring our nation to Christianity back to God.
Yeah.
It's such fucking bullshit, and it's horrible.
I think like if there could be an adjustment to the film in some way, if there could be a pro-choice stance kind of written in, because
Sure.
abortion is just not an option, which makes sense for the character. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
in this community. It would never be an option. But you know, I think if it were remade today, or if you were to add something to it, that I think that would be important, especially for today's youth, because it's still such a fucking big issue.
It would easily fit into a conversation that Cassandra could have as a practicing Jew.
Yeah.
Because abortion's not like a criminal act in Judaism. Like
or the Bible.
no, nor
So-
the Bible, but like in Judaism in
Yeah.
general, that's
Yeah.
not like it's not an issue the way it is in Christianity.
I think there are two different Christianities from this film and what we have today. It's much more Republicanized. It's much more a political thing rather than a relationship with God. I'm not disagreeing with anything you said, but like I think we're almost looking at two different animals, but it's still the same problem with people blindly following someone on television telling them what to think.
I think if it was remade
now
today,
that I'm canceled.
if it was remade today, I feel like Pastor Skip would be like a TV televangelist, like that level of mega church situation.
I think that's what I was expecting from
Yeah.
the character as I watched it, but it never really panned out.
No, this
so.
is a much like gentler kind of
Yeah.
easygoing, cool Pastor Skip.
Cool. Pastor Skip.
My son's skateboard
with
Exactly.
for Jesus.
with a
His son
non-obvious
is cool.
urban patois. A Rainy Day Pairing,
Oh yeah.
best double feature.
Is yours automatically built in with the pairing that you got them when you were a child?
Okay. Well.
Like, let me tell you, nothing chases like teen angst and Christianity like Matchstick
con
Man.
movie,
A good con.
A good con movie with Nicolas Cage. I mean, I almost thought about saying that just because like the two are kind of linked in this weird way, that weird sick day where
Sure.
I just watched those two fucking movies. Matchstick Man does not have rewatch value so much as Save does. I have a
Fighting
better
words.
I have a better
those
option.
fighting words.
I do have a better one that I think like for, you know, the viewers, maybe anyone listening,
The listeners.
and it's actually the last when we did Serial Mom, I think you picked this movie as the Rainy Day pairing for Serial Mom, and I'm gonna pick it for this movie, and that's But I'm a Cheerleader.
But I'm a cheerleader.
That's on my list too. Also, you know what? We've talked about it so many goddamn times. The three of us have to do But I'm a Cheerleader.
We should just do it.
Perfect for June.
Good.
Perfect for June, yeah.
I agree.
I think that I haven't seen it in a really long time,
It's
but
so
I just
fucking
remember
good.
it being
Still holds up.
fantastic.
It's still, yeah.
Yeah, it's still good.
I think I watched it once when I was a teenager.
Same, yeah. I think those two movies would work really well.
Awesome. I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I had also But I'm a Cheerleader as an alternate choice, though. And again, I'm not trying to be a jerk and say it's too after school, especially. But if you want to go for the full after-school special jamboree, you do Saved and Chase It with Empire Records.
Okay. I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, no?
No.
Okay.
Okay. That is like, I mean, again, I haven't seen it in a long time, but like, I remember watching it as a teenager and being like, holy shit, like, I am oblivious. I am a teenager, but these messages are coming at you hot and heavy. Like, that movie is literally like every single sector of teenage life, like, problematically.
Yeah.
You get smacked with. Like, it's like, I'm anorexic. I am, like, getting cheated on. I am, like, a person of color being, like, looked at differently. I am, like, it's just every single...
I'm being preyed upon by an older man.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like, well, no, it's like, I wish that actually, that one's not really in there. I wish it was. But it is one of those things of, like, guys, we might all be different, but have you ever taken a step back and realized we're all the same? Like, it's very, yeah. I mean, yeah, I would love to do that one because that one is like I watched my fair share of Empire Records. I'm not dissing Empire Records.
I need to see it again.
All I remember from that movie is Liv Tyler is very attractive in that movie.
But
indeed
she is.
Yeah. Okay. My first instinct was Almost Famous.
Okay.
Because it's a coming of age Patrick Fugit. And it's also Fugit. Like it's meandering and all of these different things happen, but in the end it is like coming back to oneself as a younger person. So that was my initial instinct, but I then I think I jotted this down mid podcast, was 10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay.
That would be a fun, it's just another like teenage high school kind of rom-com, like conflict of interest and trying to be your best self and all of this. And, I don't know. That's another movie that I think gives me the same, like, happy, nostalgic feelings.
Sure.
Which not everybody has around that movie, but, that's how I feel about it. So that's my actual choice, I think.
Mine is a movie I mistakenly thought Saved was. Like, when I think back about it, because Saved it came out around the same time, but it's the Dangerous Lives of Altar Boys.
Oh yeah, that would be a perfect pairing.
I never
actually
watched that.
I've never seen
it.
it.
That's Jenna Malone, Vincent D'Onofrio, and I forget her name, but they're priests.
Yeah.
And it's about religion again,
We should do that one.
It's on the list.
Okay.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
We can watch it and
in
then
my
listen
mind's
to the
eye, it's a
podcast.
good movie.
Yeah.
On record, on podcast. I don't know if it's a good movie, but
I remember.
I think it's
it
a
lot.
good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It deals with the same things. It's high school, Catholic school, romance and stuff like that. New kids in town. But yeah, that's what I got.
Cool.
Nice. And speaking of movie recommendations, we have the Sonic Death Monkey Top 5. A made-up list with deep emotional and esoteric relevance to the subject of the film. This episode's subject matter is what are your top 5 all-time movies that shine a light on Christianity?
I did not do well with this.
Don't worry about it.
That's
but
okay.
It's all good.
I have
It's all voluntary. Yeah.
I have a couple, but not I don't know.
What are your top 2 then, Lauren?
Okay. I thought that this was mainly like a crisis of faith examination. So that's kind of what I based mine. So I'll do top 2. The first one being The Exorcist.
Ooh,
nice.
And then number 1 favorite crisis of faith movie is the Coen Brothers' A Serious Man.
I love that.
Which
Love
is
that
God,
movie.
I need to read
probably
So
this is controversial. Maybe my favorite Coen Brothers movie.
Very nice.
Actually,
No,
I
I can get
It can't be controversial.
That's not
when it's
controversial.
your-
I'll give you
a
controversial.
personal.
I just trained a guy. I'm not going to name names. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I literally just trained a guy at the bar yesterday that I work at. And he was like making conversation. And he told me that he had just watched The Big Lebowski for the first time.
Yeah.
How old is this person? Oh, I know.
I don't know. He's probably like I'm going to be generous and say he's like in his late 20s, early 30s. I don't know his actual age.
Peaches.
Yes, that person. Hope he does. I mean, hey, hope you're listening, bud. Hope you're a subscriber. But hope he's not listening. I will just quick wrap this up with, he's like, yeah, he's making conversation. Just watch Big Lebowski for the first time. Didn't get it. I don't understand why people like that movie. I was taken aback. I was like, oh, fuck. But then, like, I had to, like, swallow my pride and, like, swallow all that and be like, you know what? People are allowed to like what they like. They have different tastes. So I was just like, oh. And then I was just like, I was like, oh yeah, man. Like, I mean, I can attest. Most people are right. Like, I love that movie. That movie is like,
It's a classic.
there's a reason why that people love that movie. It is a good movie, sir. But you know what? You're allowed to have your own opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah, Serious Man, the beginning, at the period piece, very authentic Yiddish. I love it for how they went like hardcore to get the real language in there. So good.
I love that movie. I've seen it. I haven't seen it in a couple years.
I need
now,
to watch it again,
but
too.
I would love to rewatch it.
Me too.
Also, one of the best trailers I've seen cut together for that film.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's a really good trailer that actually like gives you the feeling of the entire film, kind of encapsulated without giving really any plot points away. And just watching this character slowly crumble while trying to desperately cling on to faith, I think that's like, it's like a peak example of losing your religion.
Very good. Yeah.
R.E.M. would be proud.
Excellent example. I was given that prompt at the beginning, at first, and I couldn't think of enough films about crisis of faith because I don't have faith. So I kind of pushed Chuck into changing it into like movies that shine a light on Christianity, maybe poke fun at it, maybe.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was something else actually.
Because Chuck told you that's what it was.
Or
maybe did I write the wrong thing down?
Oh, I don't know.
No, shine a light on Christianity.
Did you give yours, Chuck?
Oh, not yet.
Go for it, man.
Okay, you want me to jump in?
Yeah.
All right, so I do have the full 5, so strap in.
We probably have the same list. So.
Okay, I don't know. I've got some wild cards on here. Number 5 is a wild card for sure. The Mist.
Okay.
It's an adaptation of a Stephen King novella.
I should have done Stephen King.
But I put it on here because there is a character who it's a semi-bit part in The Mist, but there is a character while the mist is happening, which is like a whole thing that like, you know, it encompasses this small town in Maine, because of course it's fucking Maine, and no one knows what's happening. There's monsters in the mist that are killing everybody that walks out into the mist. There is a woman who is a devout Catholic who is using this as a like, this is end of days, God is testing us, yada yada. And she basically gets the entire group, or not the entire group, but like 90% of the group, aside from like the main character and a couple other stragglers, to basically join her little like Christian covenant and start doing like a bunch of random things to repent and apologize to God so that he'll clear away the mist.
Yeah.
And her work is like exactly anti what the main character is doing, because the main character is coming from like a scientific background, and he's like, no. He's like, this is like a, you know, something has happened, like, you know, fucking like, there's probably like some kind of nuclear attack or something's happening. Like, this is not God. This is science. This is like, we need to get out of here. This is like fucking Agent Orange, basically.
Yeah.
And again, no one knows what's happening, but I put it on there because it does shine a light on Christianity of like the classic, like, I know it's, I don't know.
Yeah, I totally should have thought of like Father Callahan in Salem's Lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I completely spaced on that.
Number 4 is a great, I mean, they're all of them are bangers. Yeah, I'm just, you know, spoilers ahead. They're all bangers. But number 4 is First Reformed. It's a Paul Schrader movie that came out in like 2017, I think. Ethan Hawke is a priest who is having a crisis of faith because he is a devout Christian. He is a, you know, priest. He leads a church, and the world is falling apart. Global warming is a thing. Everything him and his little community can do, not even tip of the iceberg. He starts looking into it, and he slowly becomes a political extremist because he understands that one of the like biggest polluters in America is in his fucking backyard. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna blow them up.
Wow.
It's great. It's fucking amazing. It's literally Taxi Driver with Jesus.
Awesome.
Probably better than Taxi Driver, honestly.
Jesus
like
takes the wheel.
He wrote Taxi Driver.
It's
That's what I'm
better
saying
than
that.
Taxi Driver,
It's
and it
not
stars
better than
Ethan
Taxi
Hawke
Driver.
as opposed to Robert De Niro.
It's not better than Taxi Driver, but I mean, like, I guess, like, if
More
you were
fighting
coming
words.
at it with like if you were coming at it with Zoomer eyes, I will defend Taxi Driver all day. I just want to go on record for that.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna detract that statement. I've had a couple of maybe not so Virgin Marys.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
You ramble so
I do. I'm so good at it though.
I mean, I know this
The
from
wife
like
chiming.
living with you, and having conversations with you mostly every day.
It all comes out.
It all does. I'm a rambling man.
Incredible, honestly, to have to sit here and listen
should
to
have
it
a
fully.
podcast, am I
I
right?
should do a podcast. I'll speed through them really fast then. Okay. I will keep them short and sweet from now on. 3 is Benedetta.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Holy fuck.
I haven't seen it, and I want to see it, so don't give anything
I
away.
won't give anything away. All I will say, it is Paul Verhoeven,
Right.
who made Showgirls and RoboCop,
Yep,
which
yep.
we covered RoboCop. We're going to do Showgirls eventually because that movie's
And Starship
10 out of 10.
Troopers.
Would like to be on that
All right.
podcast. I have
Noted.
many
But
do you like doggy chow?
so anyways, picture the guy who made Showgirls making and this is a real thing that happened apparently. Obviously he embellishes, but
Horny nun trailer.
horny Showgirls nun lesbian anti like the cloth movie.
Okay.
So basically, Benedetta is very devout and she's doing her thing for Christianity. And, obviously people do their religion the way they want to do it. But basically, it's Benedetta being a super cool, horny lesbian nun and getting shunned for it. And she was a real person, which blew my mind. I mean, obviously, she was not the person that Paul Verhoeven cast. I don't think the real Benedetta was like a triple D like Swedish woman with guns, but
One of the horniest trailers I've seen in a long time, honestly.
I haven't even seen the trailer. I just know
Fucking
that it's a
great.
movie, and because my mother's company that she's had for over 30 years is Benedetta.
Benedetta.
That is
Yeah.
the name. And when
Wonderful
this movie came
skincare
out,
products, by the way.
thank
It's
you,
changed
darling.
my life.
I agree. Mom, you're amazing. But she was like pretty upset when this movie came out because she was just like, great. Now when people search Benedetta, they're gonna come up with this fucking movie and not my skincare. and so like part of me was just like, I don't want to watch this movie because it made my mom sad for a day.
Oh.
But ultimately, I really want to see this movie. It looks fucking sick.
dude, no shade on your mom, but the movie might be better than her skincare products. I'm just saying, it's great.
You really like that spray I spray on your face sometimes.
I do. Also, we'll just get into guest pluggables right away. Please support Benedetta
Sorry, that was
Skincare.
me.
But anyways, just to wrap this up, number 2, obviously, but I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to go into this one, but because I think we're going to do a whole episode on it very, very soon. But
Yeah.
fucking amazing. You've got the religious conversion camp, all that kind of fun stuff. And then number 1, I haven't revisited it, so maybe it's not my number 1, but it'll always be number 1, Dogma.
I had that on my list as well.
Honestly, the best Kevin Smith movie, aside from Clerks, or maybe even better than Clerks. I don't know. I need to watch them both back to back. But yeah, it's like where Kevin Smith gets things right, basically.
It's the vodka talking.
It is the vodka talking.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
I think we still had different ideas of what the top 5 was, but Dogma's Dogma's my number 4.
Number 4. Oh,
Number 5 is Dangerous Lives of Walter Boy.
hell yeah.
Number 3, The Ninth Gate.
Oh my God, yes.
What
If-
is the ninth?
Oh, it's so fun. It's hot trash. I love it.
It's hot trash. It's problematic because it's what's his name?
Is it Depp or is it?
It is. Oh, it's double. It's double
Oh,
bad now. 'cause
Double
it's
danger.
Depp and Polanski.
Okay.
Roman Polanski. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that Polanski.
Wait.
That Polanski.
yes.
Yeah.
The one, the only.
Yeah, that's deeply problematic.
It is extremely problematic, but I still like its depiction of the cult of Christianity. It's just it does its thing.
What's the setup brief summary?
Johnny Depp is a rare book seller.
Because of course he is.
God, I might have
So
seen
so he's like
this,
the Sherlock
honestly.
Holmes of finding rare tomes.
Oh God, I
and
definitely have
like
seen
he
that.
gets into the occult, and someone hires him to hunt down a second copy of this very rare book, apparently written by Satan. Yeah, but it's still on my list.
I stand by it.
Number 2, The Messenger. I don't know if a lot of people have seen this.
Why does it sound so familiar?
It's Joan of Arc.
Oh, yes.
Dustin Hoffman plays either the god or the devil at the end of it.
Okay.
And he, have you not seen it?
No.
Oh,
You should watch
dude,
it.
it's
I'm
good.
not gonna spoil it.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
it's a good time.
I love this movie. I watch it over and over again. It's got Vincent Cassel, one of my favorite actors, French actor.
I love him.
I'm spacing on her name. Mila Jovovich is Joan of Arc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just great. And I just go back to it again and again, and it makes me warm and fuzzy inside at the end. Like, yes, thank you. Somebody said it. And number 1, The Life of Brian.
Yes, that's the one movie I was like, yeah, well, for sure.
That's the one. Yeah,
classic.
I can't believe I didn't think of that.
It took me a while too, but it's one of the most subversive while not being subversive films about Christianity.
Yeah. I also thought of Spotlight, which is a more recent movie. It's Michael Keaton, Rachel McAdams, but it's basically about the Boston journalists who uncover all the sex abuse.
I remember the trailers for that. Yeah.
I think it's an Oscar-winning movie. It's one that I like a lot. Sorry. It's procedural in a lot of ways. It's these like journalists, like normal ass people, just following the story and like trying to follow through. I also think there are like some really like heavy hitters in there. Like Helen Mirren might be like in it as one of like the publishing execs.
Interesting.
Mark Ruffalo, he's in it. He goes fucking insane.
I'm in.
Partway through that movie, it's great. And
say no more.
It's a really well done drama, but it's also like truly like hard to watch and kind of heartbreaking because there are some incredibly well acted scenes of survivors talking about what has happened, and so also dealing with their faith and trying to confront what has actually happened and bring it to light. So I don't know, that came up for me.
Yeah. Interesting. You have to check that out.
I got 2.
Yeah,
you know, and we've been talking about this for a while, but just actually a documentary I watched last week called Jesus Camp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thought that this movie made me think of that movie, and so I decided to watch it for the first time, and it was a lot, you know. And it doesn't really. It's interesting. It's an interesting documentary because I feel like it doesn't like necessarily make commentary. It's like very, very subtle.
It doesn't
but as
have
the
to.
viewer, it doesn't have to. It's pretty good. I'd recommend it.
And that came out at the same time this did.
Yeah, which it makes sense. I mean, you know, talk about like, you know, Bush being that like that Christian figure in office,
cutouts of him,
you know?
didn't they? Like in Jesus Camp, they had cutouts of Bush and
they talked a lot.
Yeah,
definitely.
They were the golden goat or the golden calves.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And a movie I just thought of while we were having this conversation. I don't know what reminded me of it, but The Devils. Has anyone seen The Devils? Woo! It's from 1971. It stars Oliver Reed. Woof. And
woof woof bow wow.
Yeah. Woof in a bad way and a good way because he's kind of hot. Whoops. And anyways, I can't recommend this movie enough. It's fucking wild. It's based on The Devils of Loudun. If you know that story, watch this movie. It's really truly like a beautifully artfully done film. I'm not gonna fully get into it.
It's a Ken Russell.
Watch it. That's all I'm gonna say. Just fucking watch it.
I'm down.
It's so good.
You know,
we should have a movie.
I don't know if this should be on there or not, but I was like,
I can cut it out later.
Thinking about like religion and like trying to like deal with it, but the witch, the double Vive witch,
the witch.
I never saw that one.
That would fit into this category.
Yeah,
so it's Shyamalan, right?
It definitely.
No, that is Mr. Eggers.
Okay.
Yeah, Robert Eggers.
Okay.
And probably his best movie. I don't know.
What's up there?
A lot of fun, a lot of puritanical angst.
I don't know.
And
Sure.
then, yeah.
Well, I think that was in The Village too. The Village was a commentary on.
Yeah.
Also.
You know, now that we're talking about it, guys, there's a lot of movies that fit into this category.
It's almost like
I can bend it to my will as much as
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like religion messes a lot of people up.
You know, people have thoughts and feelings about it.
Yeah. All right, on to the epilogue. Back to Saved.
Back to Saved.
This is the part where we give the verdict, where we decide to let the film live, continue to monitor for problematic behavior, or just kill it.
Live.
I think it's pretty unanimous. Yeah, this was
just like Jesus.
Hilarious, amazing film.
I want young people to watch this movie.
Right? Like it should be. Yeah.
I think it's not only like. I think it's all like for a specific reason. Well, okay. Whoa, Taylor, talking into a microphone. This is kind of hard. For all the reasons I think we previously stated, it's a good movie for a younger person to watch, but also how relationships should be, like romantic relationships specifically.
Sure.
I think both the Roland and Cassandra relationship, how that like starts and pans out, definitely Mary and cutie patooties. Yeah. the cute boy. What's Patrick?
Patrick playing Patrick.
Sorry.
Yep.
Is that actually his character name?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
convenient.
it is. It's a little confusing, but like how Patrick acts in this film is like how I wish other characters in other teen movies would act. You know, like he's not fucking negging her. He's not forcing himself on her. Like he's super respectful and just like accepting completely. And there's just something so nice about it. Anyways,
He's a profoundly better character than his father.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing.
I don't know.
And
how
the one
it
scene when they're sitting on the couch together, you it's completely laid out. He has a sense of reality that his father is like completely disassociated from.
Yep.
And it's not like a fight scene, which I like, that could have been easily like a choice that was made, but instead it's just like, Dad, like,
grow up.
can you
Grow
see?
up, exactly.
Yeah, grow up.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, thank you all for showing me this film.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it again.
Yeah.
I am also excited to watch it again and try and make other people watch it, because honestly, it was a really good experience.
I would say if we try to make other people watch it, we should give them a little bit of context, because it might look like you're actually trying to hand them Christian propaganda. Like,
Sure.
tell them like it's not what you think it is,
I think,
but you need to watch this.
yeah, reminding people that it exists, especially
Sure.
I think women around our age probably grew up with some understanding of this movie and maybe forgot about it, and it is definitely worth revisiting for multiple reasons. But yeah, just warm your heart a little bit, maybe have a little cry. It's definitely worth rewatching.
Does anybody want to plug any pluggables?
I would like to plug
Chuck,
Benedetta
you work here.
skincare products.
That's right.
I would like to
Based in
redact my statement when I said that the horny lesbian nun movie made by the amazing Paul Verhoeven is better than the skin products. The skin products are very good, and you should support this company. I personally have used lotions and lovely little kind of orange blossom spritzes. It's divine.
It's a
you should
neroli
support them.
toner. It's good.
It's not a toner. It's a hydrating elixir, you guys.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm really bad at ad copy.
My mom is
apparently.
not going to listen to this, so it doesn't matter. But thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, if y'all want to, visit
stuff.
me at Benedetta Skincare. We've been producing 100% botanical skincare for over 30 years. Baby.
There's our commercial right there.
There it is, yeah.
I'll talk to my mom.
Right on. Well, thank you for listening. Please check us out on Patreon. We're gonna have some new tiers available soon with some car noise.
Yeah, you too can hear.
Guess that car.
That'll be a fun. Hey, let's not skip ahead. That's a fun Patreon exclusive. Is guess that car.
Anyways, thanks again for listening. This has been the Nostalgia Killers. I have been the Clones.
I've been Taylor Diffendifer.
I have been Chuck Starzinski.
And I have and will continue to be Lauren Heney.
Bang bang.